Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tronage, and today we're going to be talking about Quad Box for April 2020. I think this is going to be a pretty exciting box. Want to check it out with me? You're going to have to stick around. Quad box for April 2020. That's right, folks. We got it in the house. It's made it through my little quarantine process. We're, in case you're living under a rock, we have this whole thing called the coronavirus, and it's been kind of impacting the entire globe. However, I happen to live in New Jersey, actually in Bergen County, which is pretty much, I think, sort of a suburb of New York City. So I'm sort of living in the epicenter of all this action. So pretty much anytime any packages come in, they sit on a shelf for a couple of days just in my own quarantine process because, why not? Take a little extra precautions. I happen to live in a very hot spot, so why not? Anywho, I'm very excited to get into this box because this is for the month of April, and FPV Crate did have a pretty killer box. So it's really interesting to see how Quad Box will retaliate and see if they can reclaim some of that lost ground, especially since on February, they didn't put out a box at all for this because of this coronavirus. They didn't want to deal with the delays and the problems and everything associated with it. So they sort of just said, hey, you know what? There's more going on. That's more important in life. Let's just take a step back. So obviously they lost some ground on the, how much value they put out because they didn't put out a box. So in the totals, they're going to be a little bit behind. So let's see if they can make up some ground. So here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to bring you all in close. We'll do a live unboxing together because all my unboxings are on live. I don't look at it and then put it all back in the box and talk about it. I unbox it for you live, and I give you my genuine first reactions to the stuff I see. Then we'll do a little cost analysis on it to see what it's worth and how much you paid and all that fun jazz. But before we do any of that, slam that subscribe button. While you're at it, hit that bell icon. Makes finding my videos a whole heck of a lot easier, helps support the channel, and it keeps you in the know when I post videos like this one. So make sure you hit that bell icon as well. And if you like what you see, hit the like button. If you don't like what you see, hit the dislike. Hit all that stuff that's down there. All right, with all that said, why don't you come on in, let's get it open.
Pew, pew, pew. All right, guys. Let's crack this guy open. I really want to know what's inside. Here's how we find out. We cut the seal. We'll pre-open on that flap as always. Give it a little flip. And here we go. So first off the bat, what I'm noticing is the sticker sheet we received. This is one I might actually use because you can put this on your quad. That is genius. But the only thing that would make me wonder is how do they know I have the frame that this is compatible with unless that frame is in the box. So this might be a little bit of foreshadowing. Let's see. Perhaps I was right. Check that out. It's the CL1 frame right there, ready to go. So not only do we have a full-on frame, we have the sticker sheet to decorate it up. Pretty sweet. Next up, we have some HQ props. They are 5 by 4.3s by 3s. Little black action, smoke clear, whatever you want to call it. We got 3 packs of those. And then we have a shirt and some other stuff down here that I don't want to see. And actually we did get a sticker sheet, an actual sticker sheet for this box too. So this wasn't this sticker sheet here isn't actually the sticker sheet that's supposed to be for the box. I mean, this is just extra bonus. This is the actual box's sticker sheet. And also the paperwork that was under there is some coupon codes and stuff for the simulator liftoff. And that's pretty cool, so I'm gonna be checking that out. All right, now back to the t-shirt. Let's check this out. Let me open this up. That is pretty stinking cool. Look at that. I love the colors. They're nice and bright, really cool, very high quality. I know I've been complaining a lot about the quality on the FPV crate shirts. This is silkscreen. You can tell it's just got like that, like, it's just well done. The quality is sharp. The lines are sharp. There's no like overspray. I mean, maybe I can't say for sure it's silkscreen, but I mean, this is what you come to expect when you look at the quality of a shirt. It's nice, it's vibrant, it's bright, it's heavy duty, and every line is sharp. There's no oversprays, there's no blurriness. It's just clean and nice. So at first, as you're looking at this, what I like about the stylization of this shirt is that it's nice, it's bright, but it's not in your face as well. It's sort of like subtle, but still cool because you know what's up. When you're looking at it, you're like, oh, okay, cool. It's got like some just design or whatever on it. But if you're part of the hobby, you see a lot of, like everywhere it says lift off, lift off, lift off, lift off, all in different graffiti type stylizations. It's got the logo here. It's got FPV listed over here on this hat, and it even has a little TX here to seal off the deal. So that is a really awesome, well-designed shirt, and the quality, like I said, is what I've come to expect. And this is the type of shirt, you know, quality wise for printing I love. Plus it's a black shirt. How do you go wrong with a black shirt? All right, so to recap, we have the shirt, we have the sticker sheet, we have the frame sticker sheet, we got 3 sets of props, and we got the CL1 frame. All right, and we also got some coupon codes and stuff, but I never count those in my thing anyway. So let's run some numbers and see what this box is really worth.
All right, guys, we ran the numbers. Pretty decent box, so let's take a look at it right there. So let's go through these line by line and take a look at each one of these. So first we got those HQ props. Now, one thing to note, which is I'm a little confused about, is on the little cheat sheet thing that came with it, it says stay in the air with 4 sets of gray HQ 5x4.3s/3 V2s propellers, and it says a $13.16 value. However, I only received 3 packs, and obviously the $13 would reflect more of a 4-pack number. So I'm not sure what happened there, if it's maybe a typo and it should say 3 packs and the number is the price didn't, I don't know. I don't know if I just didn't get a 4th pack and I was supposed to get a 4th pack, or 3 pack is the correct amount and they just, you know, messed up on the little paper slip or whatever. However, I'm going to go by what I received, which was 3 packs instead of the 4 that are listed on the little cheat sheet. And as I said before, props are always, they're the one major consumable in our hobby that, unless you have Jedi reflexes that you don't crash or you just like hover, you're going to end up with situations where you're breaking, chipping, bending, and screwing up your props. And it works great to have extra props to throw on there, because flying with bent up chip props is never a good thing. I've had many a bad situation when I said, oh yeah, I'll just bend this back, you know, twist it a little bit, yeah, good enough. No, it's not good enough. You really need to swap out your props. Next up, we have that sticker skin, which I thought was a really like a pretty nifty thing, because what's cool about that is it gives you a chance to customize the look of your frame and thereby the look of your rig, essentially, because, you know, you can choose to use some of it, you can choose to use all of it, you can choose to use, you know, maybe just the top parts, the bottom parts, all of it, none of it, and it can make 2 builds that are relatively the same stand out. Really, the only thing that, other than putting the sticker skins on, if you're building out like the same frame, is maybe you switch out like the props so they're different colors and stuff. So this is a cool way to give you a customizable option to make it look different, stand out, and it's kind of like a fun thing to have, you know. So I thought that was really cool that they included that. And the fact that it matched up with the frame that was also included, which we'll talk about in a moment, it was sort of like a really cool thing. So I was really happy to receive that. Next up, we have that t-shirt, and that t-shirt is awesome. It's basically, you know, it's a lift-off t-shirt, and it's silk screened. At least it looks silk screened. It's very good quality, sharp graphics. It's a really great shirt, and I'm definitely going to be wearing it. I love it. I don't know. With all the problems that we've been seeing with the FPV crate shirts, it was a nice welcomed addition to see a nice, high quality, sharp produced shirt. And lastly, we have that CL1 frame by Rotor Riot. And in all honesty, that's the type of frame that I enjoy building out, because yes, it's really fun in a challenging sort of way to build out, like, you know, a very tight build where am I gonna fit each little component? I gotta plan this all out and figure out how I'm gonna squeeze every little last inch into whatever you need to do. Those can be fun because of the challenge of it. It's almost like solving a puzzle or whatnot. It gives you a sense of satisfaction once you come up with the solution. However, sometimes you just want to throw some stuff in there and play with it, you know what I'm saying? So having a frame of this design where you have a lot of body room to like put whatever you want and move things around, and it gives you a lot of flexibility, as well different components, different parts. So it's a very universal design. So I'm really excited to build out that frame because I don't know, it has like a really good look to it, I think personally, and the fact that I have the skin to put onto the carbon fiber as well, I think it's a little added bonus that I'm excited to try out. So I'm pretty happy with that. That being said, when we come down to that bottom tier there, we see that we are about $23 over the cost of the box, which is the amount of value that we received. And if you're new around here, I'll give you the quick and dirty of my personal baseline. And that is, these are mystery boxes, and you give up choice by picking what products you want with the assumption that you're going to get value. And for me personally, I feel like $20 is a good baseline to sacrifice that choice for value. If you give me $20 worth of value, I'm like, okay, I'm cool not picking out stuff. I'm even cool if you give me something I'm not really thrilled with, but the fact that I got that value, I can always make it up by, you know, selling it to my buddy, putting it on eBay or whatever I'd like to do with it. But it was worth the trouble for that amount of value. Under $20, I'm sort of like, all right, you know, this is kind of like chintzy-ish. And over $20, I'm like, all right, cool. So here we're at $23, which is definitely over my $20 benchmark. So I would say this is definitely a good value box. I mean, there's nothing in this box that I wouldn't use. I'm going to use the skin, I'm going to use the frame, going to use the props, and I'm going to wear the t-shirt. And that's it. There's no junk or filler, I feel like. And you know, some of you out there, I'm sure, are like, well, the skin, that's kind of like a filler thing. And yeah, sure, I can see how that would be like a filler thing. But at the same token, I think it's kind of a cool thing. You know, I don't mind it because it goes with the frame that we receive. So yes, it's a little bit of filler to the box, but also it makes sense. It's not like, hey, we just threw some, I don't know, a case of shrink tubing like some other boxes have in the past as filler. So it made a lot of sense and it went together. So with that being said, now this is the second of the two boxes for April, and that means now it is comparison time to see really how we did for the month of April between FPV Crate and for Quadbox. Now, before I get started here, I do want to mention a correction. And that is for the video of the FPV Crate after having shot, but before having edited that video for the FPV Crate April box. I received an email from FPV Crate just advertising whatever, and part of their advertisement was to purchase the different things and stuff, and one of them was the shirt that was included in the box, and they listed the purchase price as $12. Now, as you know, for my boxes, I generically just call all the t-shirts $17.99 because that's about what those types of shirts cost. So the fact that that shirt is listed as $12 as a purchase price, I need to reflect that because you can go and buy that exact shirt for that exact price. So even though in the previous video I did call it a $17.99 shirt, it will be adjusted in my spreadsheet as being a $12 shirt, And as well, I'm going to take the liberty to say if the future shirts that we receive are of that same caliber and quality, they are probably also $12 shirts. When I receive a nice high quality silkscreen shirt, then those are the ones that I would say are a $17.99 shirt. That being said, the totals here will obviously change slightly. So here, just for reference, you know, because I don't want to go back and redo the other video. So here is the cost analysis of the FPV Crate April box with the corrected $12 t-shirt added in, marked in yellow just so that you see what I'm talking about. Now, with that correction said, let's look at now the correct totals. Here you go. Now, if you're new around here, let me give you the quick tour. We have a couple columns here and we got a couple rows. We got FPV Crate and we got Quad Box. They're really the two players right now doing the whole mystery box thing for our hobby. So those are the two we're tracking. Now, I have been a subscriber to Quad Box and Drone Drop, which is no longer around, since around February of 2018. So if you're interested in more historic data, because I've been keeping track of everything, every box, everything the whole time, that historic data can be checked out in the January episode for the Quad Box unboxing for 2020. I have the historic data listed in there. Moving forward, I'm omitting it so it's a little bit more cleaner of a look, and we're just looking at FPV Crate and Quad Box. Now, the first column there is I'm starting the timer when FPV Crate came onto the market, which was in July of 2019. So that's that first column. It's basically what happened in 2019 from July starting point until the end of the year. The next column is basically now 2020. How are we doing from January till present? Then that next column is basically the total. Now remember, I'm just tracking the value over the cost of the box. So this is basically your bonus value. And one thing I started to do also is just to get a running average of what's going on, because, for example, Quadbox did not put a box out for February due to the COVID problem that we're having right now globally in this world we live in right now. So because they didn't put out a box, they also don't get any, it didn't cost us anything, but we didn't get any value out of it. Meanwhile, FPV Crate did have a box for February. So just like, for example, how I'm starting it both on July when the box is launched, you know, it wouldn't be fair to each box if I said, well, I'm going to start in January. Well, Quadbox would have January, February, March, April, May, and June boxes, where FPV Crate didn't have those. So to try to make a comparison, you don't really know what you're comparing. That's why I started them both in July. So to make things a little bit easier to compare, I'm also including the average per box. And if you see, there's the boxes sent column. And this is so that you can see how many boxes are being considered and the total value that we received. And basically, I'm just taking an average, which is taking the total, dividing it by the boxes. Math. It's your friend. But basically, it doesn't mean that the boxes that you can expect to receive will contain that amount of value. It just means overall, the average value to be had in a box is what I'm showing here. Things labeled in green mean that they are the winner for that column. They're providing the higher value. So now let's take a look at that. You can see in 2019, Quadbox came out on top, providing more value than FPV Crate did. For the current year to date, you can see that FPV Crate is in the lead, providing more value. But also, like I said, that's keeping in mind February, Quadbox did not send out a box and didn't charge for a box. Totals now, here's the interesting, when it gets interesting. You look at the total though, and they're like $1 and change apart from each other. So that means that should give you a little bit of an idea that even though right now for year to date for 2020, FPV Crate is in the lead, it's not by much. And that's with Quadbox not even doing a box for February. And when you look at the averages across the board, which is a very accurate comparison because it's comparing apples to apples, number of boxes versus how much total, you can see that Quadbox on average still currently is in the lead as far as just overall total value as far as my analysis goes. So keep that in mind and think about that when you're thinking about what you're going to do, which boxes, you know, maybe you're thinking about subscribing to one of these boxes. You know, which one should you subscribe to? I really don't know, because that's why if I knew, I would probably just subscribe to that one. I can't make up my mind really, so that's why I subscribe to two, because, you know, 1 month one will be better, 1 month the other will be better. I will say though, overall, across the board, since 2018, Quadbox has always been the leader on value, 100% of the time, and as shown here with this, on average, the Quadbox tends to put out more value over the course of time. So if that's what's important to you, that's what you should think about. All right. So as always, my name's Tronage. Fly strong.